RunCam 5, GoPro Hero Session 5, and the Box 2. So I previously reviewed the Box 2, and I forgot to mention that the stabilization function on the Box 2 isn't actually properly set up. When you turn it on, it's actually off, and when you turn it off, it's actually on. So the previous video had a much more constricted field of view than it actually has. The first flight video that I'm showing in this video is also with the stabilization quote unquote off, which means it's actually on and the field of view is actually constricted. I forgot to turn it off for the first flight. The second half of this video has it actually genuinely off, and you can see the true field of view of the camera. So first let's focus on the RunCam 5. So I don't know why there wasn't a 4, or yeah, I don't know why there wasn't a 4. 3S maybe was a 4. I'm assuming they called it 5 just so that they could compare it to the Hero Session 5, because these companies love doing something to copy something at some point. I don't know why they bothered, because they can clearly do it themselves. They don't need to say that they are referencing anything from any other company. But this is a black rubberized kind of coating. It's like a soft touch coating. I do wish it was either white or like bright orange or something, so if you lose it, it's easy to find. It has a door that slides for the memory card slot, which is fantastic compared to the dumb Box 2's rubber door. But it also has USB, the previous USB, not USB-C, which the Box 2 has USB-C, and it does have a slightly faster transfer rate, which doesn't really matter. It's just that my phone and every other device that I have now has USB-C, so it's really nice to have USB-C and not have a outdated port on my camera. The RunCam does not have HDMI out, which I don't really think anybody cares about. It also only has one button on here. Now, I was unable to change any settings on this camera because I could not connect to it in my phone, and the instructions are awful, and it just does not make any sense. And I don't even think the app is even out for me to change any settings, but the setting that it comes on by default is, I'm assuming, the widest field of view, and it's pretty high resolution, and the frame rate is suitable for everybody to see the general quality. And so what you are seeing is the quality of the RunCam 5 as is. In this flight video, it's the only one that had an ND filter on the camera. The others did not. And that's because the first thing I'm going to point out is that this camera actually fits your GoPro Hero Session 5 cases, which is fantastic, which I don't know why Foxeer did not strive to do, because now you can literally just buy this camera as a GoPro Hero replacement, and I would argue it is a suitable replacement as well, because the video quality is about the same. I mean, I was actually flipping between the files to see which one I thought was GoPro, and I couldn't really tell a huge difference. So that to me means that it's pretty similar. The only real differences are that I think the GoPro does have a slightly wider field of view, which, I mean, they're so close. It's really, really close. I don't even know if it matters anymore. And also the GoPro does have slightly better distortion management. The distortion on the RunCam 5, because of the Super View-ish look and its squashed screen to 16:9, does look a little bit more kind of distorted. But again, that's not really a huge deal. The other thing is that its audio sucks. Just like every other China camera, the audio is absolutely horrid. And it's actually worse than the Box 2. But does that really matter for us? I would argue yes. The audio really does add quite a bit to the experience of watching the footage, but most people would say no, it doesn't matter. So is it a suitable replacement? I'm just cut to the chase. Like, is it a suitable replacement for the GoPro Hero Session 5? The RunCam can be picked up for $100. The Session 5 can be picked up on eBay if you're in the United States or a country that has access to eBay and shipping and all that sorts of good stuff. You could pick up a GoPro Session 5 for somewhere between $100 and $150 on eBay, refurbished. It's pretty much like new. So I'm comparing these two against each other because they are very similar. Thankfully, both of them do have very, very similar video quality, regardless of resolution and frame rate. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm just looking at video quality, because all the other stuff, as long as it does 30 frames per second minimum, is pointless to me. I don't need anything else. As long as I can get up above 2K resolution, I'm getting the full quality that I want. I don't need more than 2K. The rest is just all the quality that the sensor will actually give you. Anybody that's a photography buff out there will tell you that while pixels are nice, that's not ultimately what defines the quality of the camera, it's the quality of the sensor, quality of the pixels, the way it's handling the light, the way it's processing things. So like I said, as long as it's at the setting where it's capturing the maximum quality that the sensor can capture, I'm okay with that, and I can judge it for what it is. And I would say that these two cameras are very similar, although the audio on the RunCam sucks. The audio on the Box 2 is a little bit better. However, because the fact that and all of these cameras have very comparable quality at this point, the field of view on the Box 2 did become quite a bit better once I turned off stabilization, So I would say all of these are very suitable replacements for a GoPro. But there's a big but coming up, I'll talk about in a second. I would not recommend the Box 2 because it doesn't fit in your GoPro cases. It doesn't fit in any of your GoPro cases. Whereas the RunCam does. If you've jumped around this video, the RunCam does fit in your GoPro session cases. However, it does not fit into the GoPro stock cases that the GoPro comes with. The clasp doesn't actually close. You could kind of just leave it in here or just like kind of tape it a little bit. But there is a very real inherent problem with all of these Chinese cameras and cameras that are not GoPros. As you can see throughout this entire discussion that I've been having, my little green light has been on the whole time. And that is because once I plugged my RunCam into the computer to transfer my files, I could no longer turn the camera off. I've held down this button for a minute at a time and the light just doesn't turn off. So as far as I can tell, my camera is frozen, broken. I don't know what to do with it. It only has one button. I've tried holding it, plugging it in, unplugging it, doing all sorts of jabs with it, putting a memory card in, taking a memory card out, plugging it in, plugging it out, and it doesn't turn off. It doesn't turn off. It doesn't record. It doesn't do anything. It's just frozen. So I'm just going to let the battery run out, and hopefully then it'll actually turn off, and then recharge the camera to get it going again. This kind of crap does not happen ever on GoPros. Like, the GoPro has to be almost completely destroyed for it to have any problem like this. I have never once in 8 years of using GoPros had an issue where the GoPro just randomly stopped recording or some garbage happened and it decided to screw up or something, unless it was physically damaged to a pretty extreme amount. So for that reason alone, I would not recommend any of these cameras, RunCam or the Box 2, because they just can't get this firmware business right, and stuff like this keeps happening. And also, the RunCam only has one light on it, so when it is recording, it's kind of hard to tell when it is recording, because it's nice that every other camera has two lights on it, so you have 2 points of access. If you have it in a case and the case is covering the light, then you kind of can't see if it's recording too easily. Also, you can't swap out the lens on front of the camera, which is annoying, but these are just moot points. They don't really matter. The quality is great. Everything is fine about the camera. Audio quality sucks, but this garbage that you see here with the light on, intolerable. I will not tolerate that. I cannot use this camera. I'm so sorry. I cannot give this a recommendation. However, if you are outside the country and you don't have access to eBay and all that good stuff, these are suitable camera options for you, and you're not missing a whole lot of quality compared to the GoPro. That's pretty amazing, truly amazing that they've reached this point where they can capture that kind of quality and it's suitable for use everywhere. But yeah, you have these inherent issues and flaws that you have to deal with as well. So hopefully this was really helpful. I really don't do super in-depth reviews of cameras because I'm not speaking to professional users, and I don't think professional users even use the GoPro Session 5. They're all on the Hero 7. So yeah, I hope this was the appropriate level discussion for my viewers out there. Don't forget to floss your teeth. Flossing is very important, and take care. Bye.